Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for our BSc Business Talk today. My name is Laura and I'm the Student Engagement Officer at Marjan, and I'm going to be hosting your session. Presenting today is Laura Wallace, who is a business lecturer and programme leader. We also have two student ambassadors, Josh and Kelly, who will be helping to answer any questions that you have for us. To answer your questions, please click on the speech bubble with a question mark in the middle of it, and this will open a chat to the right-hand side of your screen. I'll collect all the questions and ask these to the team at the end of the presentation. So for now, I'm going to pass you across to Laura.
Hi everyone, welcome to the BSc Business live talk here at Marjan. I'll just give you a quick breakdown of some of the things I'm going to be talking to you about today. I'll firstly introduce myself, as Laura's done. Yeah, I'm Laura Wallace. I'm the current programme leader for the BSc programme here at Marjan. We'll be having a look at the programme and the overview of some of the things you could expect to be studying with us if you picked our programme. I'll be talking to you about our affiliation to the Chartered Management Institute, the CMI, and the benefits that you can draw on with that. I'll give you a good breakdown of our teaching team and the facilities that we have. And I'll also be talking to you about the support that's available for you while you're with us and studying at Marjan and also beyond. So to give you an overview of how our programmes operate here in the business unit at Marjan, we really pride ourselves on having quite a unique and exciting offering of how we like to teach and engage with you as students. We utilise a thought and action approach to our teaching, which is we use theory to inform the practice in which we teach, and also the practice and the activities that you complete while you're on the course. To support that, we really think it's important that we offer you a real mix and diverse range of activities. So not just sitting in the lecture theatre listening to us talking to you. We really like to mix things up. So we offer field trips, we provide business simulation games, we have guest lectures, and I'll be talking more about those in a moment. We have real practical seminars as well as our traditional lectures, which are the kind of cornerstone of the teaching that everything else operates around. We believe what we offer is very interactive and also intellectually challenging, and you'll have the chance later on to have a chat with one of our students on our course, Josh, who you'll be able to pick his brains around what that's like to study with us. So moving on to our accreditation by the CMI, the Chartered Management Institute. The BSc Business Programme is accredited by the CMI. The CMI are the leading body in the UK for leadership and management. So what does this mean to you? Well, thanks to our work in accrediting our BSc Business Programme, upon graduating and successfully completing your degree with us, you'll receive a level 5 diploma in management and leadership alongside your degree. This means that you come out of university after your 3 years with us with an additional separate award to your degree. So you get your degree certificate and you'll also get your CMI qualification. This is at no extra cost to you, no additional assessment, or no additional time. Everything is built into all of the teaching and learning that we do as part of the degree programme, so there's no additional work or cost to you. But what it does mean is that you come out at the end of your degree with these 2 qualifications. Now, not every business programme is accredited by the CMI, so this could make you stand out from the crowd if you were looking then for graduate opportunities and jobs. Having that partnership with the CMI also brings a lot of benefits as well, not just that qualification, but also while you're studying with us. So you can see some of the statistics that I've got on the screen here around how some students felt with their CMI accreditation and also what that CMI accreditation brings to courses like our BSc Business Programme. It does mean that we have access to a wider range of resources for you to access through their Management Direct scheme as well. So there are lots of added benefits to that affiliation throughout the programme. So who'll be teaching you? Well, if I start on the left-hand side of the screen there, we have Dr. Sarah Preedy. She's our programme leader for the BSc business programme. She's currently on maternity leave, however. So then you've got myself in the middle there. Laura, I'm the interim programme lead while Sarah's on maternity leave, and I'm a lecturer in business. Sarah, I should mention, mainly focuses on teaching on the entrepreneurial modules, and you'll pick up on some of those as I talk through the module breakdown in a moment. My teaching focuses around some of the core business modules, so finance, people management, and some of the leadership. And then finally on the end there, we've got Ian Gillespie. He's also senior lecturer in business, and Ian focuses his teaching on the marketing and also some of the professional development and study skills modules. We also benefit from having a wide range of visiting lecturers and guest speakers who support our core team of lecturers in delivering some more of the specialist materials, the specialist modules, and these range in diversity. As you can appreciate, the business programme has lots of different types of modules that go on in it. So these are our enterprise ambassadors, and they support us in those visiting lecturer and guest speaker roles, and also in other activities that we undertake as well within the business school, and I'll go on to talk about those in a moment. So we're very, very fortunate at Marjan Business to have some quite new, specially designed facilities that we can take advantage of, and that's our enterprise and employability hub called The Edge. This is where a lot of our business teaching takes place, and there's lots of opportunities for you as students to engage in that space through things like extracurricular activities, business support and guidance, an incubation space if you're interested in starting up your own business, and also to meet with and network with our enterprise ambassadors that I mentioned. So as I talk about our spaces, I'm just going to scroll through some images here just so you can get a feel for what those rooms and spaces look like. If we were on campus today, I would take you on a short tour of our Edge facilities. But as you can see, our facilities are very up to date. They're nice and open and airy. Our office spaces are here in the Humanities Suite. So if you want to contact your lecturers, we have an open door policy, meaning that we're here, and if we're there, we're able to speak to you. We really value the engagement with our business programme with local employers and local business people. Here's our independent suite. This is where our startup businesses will have desk spaces. So we've got a number of businesses who actually operate from our independence room at Marjan. And what's really nice is you could be being taught in the room right next door to these people. You might bump into them in the corridor, start a conversation, and really get to grips with actually understanding what it's like to be working in a field of interest to you if you meet these people. We've got our ambition room, which is where we do some of our teaching. It's a very flexible space. So at the moment it's set up in a boardroom style, but we do some lecturing in here. We do our hackathon events in here where you get to network with those different business people. And we've also got our curiosity room. This is a room we love to use for our seminars, our interactive workshops, because the walls are covered in whiteboard material, meaning that you can write all over the walls, you can be creative, and this is a really great space to be active and try some of those different activities that I was talking about at the top of the session. So what would you be learning with us then if you were coming onto our BSc business programme? Well, I'll give you a breakdown of the 3 years. As you can see, in your first year, we do a lot of introduction to the various aspects and core principles of business. There's introduction to enterprise and introduction to marketing in your very first semester. And we also offer a really important module, which is our academic personal and professional development module. This is where we get to know you as learners and get to start to think about what it is that you want from your degree, so you can start to personalise your experience with us. We can then start to build on that by thinking about what work placements, work experience opportunities you might like, what consultancy projects you might like to undertake, or what startup business ideas you might have. And we can really start to build around that some support networks. We can tap into our own personal networks as lecturers to get you information, guidance and support that you need to really tailor that university experience to suit you. It's also okay at that stage to not know what you want to do. And that's where the benefit of these different introductory modules in the first year really come into force. You can experience accounting and finance potentially for the first time, people management, human resourcing, and the important principles of how you may go about starting your own business to start to get a flavour of what interests you and what doesn't. As we move into our second year, we start to build on those core principles and that interest and understanding by really thinking about the impact that small business has to play in the key areas of marketing, accounting and finance, again, people management. We also start to develop our understanding of what it's like to work in organisations and be entrepreneurial through working in those organisations. But sat alongside a lot of that practical understanding, we still have to build in some academic practice, and through that we have our research methods module, which gets you really prepared and excited about your final year big piece of work, which is your dissertation. So in your third year, we start to explore some of these key contemporary ideas of business leadership, and you get the opportunity in your third year to start and run your own business through the business reality module, if that's something you're interested in. And if not, you can also undertake a larger consultancy project to support a local business in a real life problem or opportunity that they might have. Again, we look at those real contemporary up-to-date issues that are and challenges that are facing businesses and how we can respond to those as active participants within the business setting. We also turn our attention to our own personal journeys and our own personal futures, reflecting on our business knowledges, experiences and skills, and where that might take us beyond our graduation from Marjan. And again, sat across both semesters of our final year is our dissertation project. That's that big project that you undertake with support from a supervisor in an area of business that you're interested in. So as you can see, although there are a lot of diverse different modules within our business programme, there's a lot of scope to really tailor your experience to suit your individual interests. It wouldn't be university if I didn't talk about how we might assess you. And there's lots of different ways in which we assess your understanding, your knowledge, and your acquirement of those skills. We really pride ourselves on understanding that the ways in which we assess you also need to be transferable skills into a workplace setting. So we do use essays and we do use presentations, but we also use real world things that you'll pick up and utilise again in your careers. Things like business reports and business plans, presentations and pitches, pitching an idea, being creative and really thinking about how you can use those skills in the future. Posters are another way that we use to assess you, and also reflective portfolios. Importantly for us in the business unit, there are no exams, so it's all coursework based. Now, this slide might not come as a surprise to those of you with us today. Obviously, you're thinking about business. You may have thought about what you could become or what you could do with a business degree. But as you can see on the slide here, there's lots and lots of career opportunities that are out there for you once you've completed your business degree. And what we aim to do at Marjan in the business unit is to really support you beyond your degree, to thinking about how you might be able to get into one of these key areas. So support is key for us at Marjan across the university. It's something we pride ourselves on, again, because we're small, we have small class sizes, and it means that those activities that you do are very important to us. You get to know your tutors, you get to know the people that you're studying with. And it also means that we can support you in a very strong way. One of the ways that we do that is through your personal development tutor. So your personal development tutor will be an academic member of staff from the business unit, and they'll meet with you at least 4 times per academic year, just to check in with you, to see how you're progressing. And we follow a programme that's developed by our futures team, our employability team here at Marjan, to really get those building blocks underway to support you thinking about your onward career. So your personal development tutor is a consistent point of contact for you to discuss anything related to your university experience. So that might be academic or professional, but also personal. And we have our student support and study skills teams available that support our students and support our PDTs, our personal development tutors, to ensure that you've got the right support there when you need it. So outside of your PDT, as I mentioned, we have our student support services, we have our study skills team, and we have our futures team, our employability team. And we work very, very closely with our futures team to be able to deliver you those opportunities that you identify. So if you're keen on getting some experience in a finance and accounting setting, you may have an opportunity to do a consultancy piece of work, and we'll work with you to try and get a placement in a finance and accounting unit for you, for example. So that's my presentation to you on the BSc Business Programme. I'd like to open up the floor to questions, and I think Laura will be managing those questions. We've got Josh with us, who's a second year student with us, and we've also got Kelly, who's also another student representative. So we'll all be kind of chipping in response to those questions.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Laura. We do have a few questions already, so I am just going to head straight over. Okay, so the first question, Josh, if we could send this to you. Just get you up on the screen there. So the question is, what are the unique selling points of this course? What attracted you to study on this course?
Well, what I didn't know is when I got to the campus and started studying the course that there wasn't going to be as many people in my class. So the fact that I think we started off with like 7, I think, and then now we're down to 5, it just makes it even better for all of us because we get to, like, you know, ask Laura questions or ask Sarah when she was here, Ian, whoever's taking over the session, things we don't know, or pick up on things that we would like to further study on. And yeah, business. Who wouldn't want to study business, because it's quite a generic course. You know, business is one of the most trending topics in the world today. So
brilliant. Thank you, Josh.
No problem.
Laura, if we could fly back to yourself, I think you touched upon this slightly there. But the question is, so I'm not particularly confident with group work, so I was wondering what the split is, the coursework split is between individual essays, group work and presentations.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, so built into all of those assessments that we do, there is some degree of group work in there. We do understand that people perhaps haven't had to do assessed group work before they come to university, but we do think it's an important skill to acquire, particularly thinking about you'll be going into the world of work and being probably having to work as part of a team to deliver something. So that's how we like to kind of support you, is by giving you the opportunity to get experience with that. Now, we don't just expect you to go in, meet people for the very first time, form a group and write an assessment. We support you with that. We'll give you opportunities to get to know your classmates. As Josh mentioned, it's small class sizes, meaning that you get to spend time with one another and get to know one another. And we do lots of activities to build your confidence in working in teams and groups, and also highlighting what your particular strengths are, so that you can create a really effective, strong teams and play your part. So I don't know offhand what the specific split is but there is some assessed group work. Just some.
Brilliant, thank you. Kelly, if I could ask you this following question. So why should I pick Marjan? If you could just let us know why you picked Marjan, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm not actually on business, I am on sports rehab, but the reason why I chose Marjan as a whole to study at is, yes, it's been said, but even on my course there is a small amount of people on it. So teaching, I get that 1 to maybe 5, 6 people in lectures. I've got the support I needed from student support. I've also had been able to get to know a lot of people through being in sport. I'm part of the swimming and water polo team, so getting to know from people in their first years and the small community feel of the campus. It's quite a small campus altogether, so you get to know a lot of people on it.
Brilliant. Thank you, Kelly. And just to add there, I think one of the best selling points of Marjan is not only its location and everything that we have around us, it's just that being in such a small community, you're not just a number, and I think that really has value. So yes, just thought I'd like to add that in. So Josh, if we could fly back to you for this next question. I would like to play sport at uni. Will I have time to play and study? So could you tell us what your typical week would look like?
Well, to answer the first part of that question, yes, of course you'll have time. You always have time to do anything that you want to put your mind to. But a week is quite hectic. If you're playing quite heavily into sport, then you're going to have training in the morning. You might have class. So if it's Monday training in the morning, you have class. Then you might have another class. Get something to eat. You might have another class. Then you might have training again. And then if you go to the gym, you go to the gym. If you want to like get bigger, if you want to eat, there's so much facilities around campus for you to do and, you know, practice on not just your sport, but, you know, your studies as well. So of course you can balance sport and your course at the same time.
Fantastic. Thank you. Laura, if we could come back to you for the following question.
Yeah.
I'll just find it again. So I think you did touch upon this in one of your earlier slides. I don't know whether I want to own my own business or join an organisation. Will I be able to experience both sides of that?
Yes, definitely. So in the earlier modules that we do, some of the more practical assessments are around actual business consultancy. So we would pair you up with an local organisation, and they might have a particular problem or issue or opportunity that they want you to investigate and try and solve. So, for example, our second year students have just completed some consultancy projects for local businesses in Plymouth. They ranged from looking at trying to create an effective social media campaign to looking at how they could the business could expand into an international market. So we've got some modules where you would specifically do that. That final year module, the business reality module, gives you the flexibility to decide if you want to run your own business or do another consultancy project. So you've got flexibility in that. And also something I should mention is there's lots of extracurricular activities that fall in years 1, 2 and 3 that you can take advantage of to kind of test the water a bit. So, for example, we have our innovation challenge that runs each year. That's an opportunity to try and problem solve. And this year it was a problem that the university were facing around carbon emissions. I should mention that a team of the business students from the first and second year actually got together to do the innovation challenge, and the business team won. So congratulations to them, and just demonstrates the fantastic skills and opportunities that they've taken advantage of. We have our tenor challenge that ran this year. That was an opportunity which was driven by our futures team, whereby any student could start a business for £10 with support from the futures team, run it for a certain amount of time, and see how they got on. Did they make a profit? Did they make a loss? What did they learn from it? And we in the business unit are also working with the futures team to be able to offer some more kind of practical business startup opportunities as well. So there's lots of things embedded within the actual degree and the assessments that get you to kind of dip your toe in the water of both, but also there's lots of extracurricular stuff that goes on at the university that you can test as well. So I hope that sort of helps and answers the question.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Just a reminder to attendees, please do keep sending in your questions. There is a minor delay from when you send yours in to when we see it, but please do keep them coming in. Okay, so next question is going to Kelly. Could you tell us what employment support there is for me during and after my course?
Yeah, so as Laura said, the futures team are there to support you throughout your 3 years of uni, but also recently they've extended their period after they help you after uni for however long you want it. So the futures team are there. So I've recently been using them to help with updating my CV, making it look good as well as sound good. They're also there to help with cover letters, job applications, putting you on what else you can do to make yourself look better to the employer, help with interview skills and many other things. They've got a great online presence as well as their in-person contact, so they're a great addition to the Marjan that you're able to use for however long you want it and need it for.
Sorry, I just realised I was muted. Sorry, I'm just refreshing the question bar here, so just give me a few seconds to see if anything new comes in. Okay, so next question, if we could head over to Laura for this one. So it's around the current circumstances with COVID-19 going on, and the question is, do you think it would be more beneficial for me to wait until the 2021 entry or start this coming year?
Yeah, that's a really great question, and obviously something that's really important to think about. I think for me, my position on that would be that actually now 2020 is the right time to come to university. There's no doubt that that September is not going to be exactly as how we had planned it. So there will be some differences, some changes. What we're looking at is potentially a blended learning approach, whereby we're hoping for some face-to-face interaction and also coupled with that online learning. So there's a number of reasons why I would say actually now is the right time. I think it's from a practical perspective, there may be limited work opportunities if you were thinking about taking a year out to work, because we just don't know what this is going to bring us. Also, if you were thinking about travel, again, maybe taking a year out for a gap year, for example, it's likely that there'll be limited opportunities to travel. So actually, the one thing that we can say is that there will be degrees running in September, and there will be universities running in September and opportunities to start your degree process. We in the business unit are very confident about our ability to deliver our programmes successfully through that blended learning opportunity. We have experience of running some of our modules through blended learning anyway. That's over and above what we've been doing since the lockdown of March. We have already in previous years run some of our modules through a blended learning approach. So we're very confident that we'll be able to deliver a fantastic experience for you anyway. And seizing that opportunity now to get on, to start a new challenge in September, I feel is the right thing to do. So that would be my thoughts on that.
Brilliant. Thank you, Laura. Thanks for that. Thank you for that question as well. Again, I'm just going to have a quick refresh of this question bar here because I haven't seen anything new come in. So just give it a couple of seconds.
Yeah, sure. Obviously, I'll just mention my contact details are up on screen. So if you do have any questions, please do feel free to email me on the email address there. And do follow us on Twitter. That's at Marjan Business. You'll be able to see updates and posts of things that are going on in the business unit at Marjan.
That's great. Thank you, Laura.
Okay.
I can't see anything else coming in. So I would just like to say thank you once again for joining us today. If you do have more questions, please use Laura's email address there and do follow us on Twitter. Alternatively, you can contact us on visitus@marjan.ac.uk and we will get back to you that way. As you can see on the last slide there, we do have other talks going on, so please do get in touch via that email address if you would like to attend any of them, and we'll get you signed up for those. But in the meantime, do stay in touch and please stay safe. Thank you.